What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Crystal's Copia, where we live a life of abundance. Today, I am so excited to bring you this video. We're going to talk about tips, tricks, and hacks to save you time, to save you money, to save you from losing your mind this holiday season. So that's something that you're into, then just keep watching. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It lets me know the type of content that you like. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss a video with me again. That being said, let's get into the video. This video because my last tip is the most important one, so stay tuned. First thing I want to tell you is taking the time now in the beginning of November to plan ahead for the next two holidays is going to be a game changer for you as far as getting everything done that you want to get done, scheduling time to actually enjoy the things. Planning ahead a little bit is going to give you a better shot of not spending too much money over the holidays, because I know sometimes things sneak up on us and we don't plan for them and then we end up spending a lot more than we anticipated. So a little bit of preparation now is going to save you a lot of anguish later. So let's get into the hacks. The first thing is you want to set the dates. I mean, duh, we know when Thanksgiving is, we know when Christmas is. If you're not celebrate those holidays, then this probably isn't the video for you. But once you set the times and the days that you're actually going to meet with family, I know some people meet on the holidays, some people do it the day after, weekends before, whatever, but plan those dates now. Nail down the times when you're going to go all the places and do all the things, so at least you have an outline of how much time you have to plan for these things. So that's my first tip. The second thing is set the menu. So for our family, we do a traditional Thanksgiving dinner. We do delegate, different items. We travel to my husband's family. So I basically coordinated with the other two families, or three families, I should say, that we meet with there, and we figured out the menu now. So I can go ahead and start planning ahead for those times. And one little kind of tip for you when you're doing this is when you plan the menu, especially if you kind of take the bull by the horns and you're like, okay guys, let's start delegating who's bringing what. The great thing about that is you can bring things that you like to make or that are easy to make. If you're on a tight budget, then maybe you can figure out what's going to be less expensive for you to make. Maybe you'll bring like mashed potatoes. That's something that's pretty easy to make and pretty inexpensive, and so maybe that's your contribution. So by taking the bull by the horns and kind of planning ahead, it gives you an advantage to have kind of first dibs on the items that you want to bring. Now let's say you're crazy busy and it's not necessarily a financial issue, it's a time issue for you. Well, then you're the person that wants to volunteer to bring maybe paper plates or silverware. If you're a little fancier than that, maybe you're bringing the wine or the drinks, whatever it may be, or maybe you're ordering things. Don't feel like you have to make everything yourself, especially if you don't have the time. Don't feel bad, delegate. Also, there's tons of cute bakeries and places around that you can still bring us something special, even if you didn't make it yourself. Set the menu, plan ahead. Now, if you're someone that's gonna be traveling, this is great because you can plan items that either you can make ahead of time and just kind of throw together, or things that are gonna ride in the car well. So be the one that sets this up, because there's advantages to picking what you're gonna take. Now, the third thing on my list is to figure out the gift system. Now, this is really important to do now in November. Don't wait till December. Just to give you guys an idea, we have 4 kids. Ryan's brother has 6 kids. Ryan's sister has 6 kids. So it's like crazy, right? We have so many kids, so many adults. And so we set aside now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do an adult like white elephant gift. So we know we need to bring 2 adult gift cards, and we know that each one of our kids needs to bring an age appropriate gift under, let's say, $20. So knowing that ahead of time and knowing that you're gonna do a gift exchange, or maybe you're gonna draw names, or maybe you're just not gonna do any gifts, but knowing that ahead of time allows you to plan and budget for it. And that being said, with your budget, if you're setting the menu now and you know that Christmas is going to be a little nuts and it's going to be a little tight because you're buying all these gifts, you can start buying non-perishable items that you know you're going to use at Christmas now before you start spending all your money on Christmas presents. This takes things off the list. Also, if you know you're going to be doing a gift exchange like we're going to do, I can go out and purchase all those gift cards now, set them aside. I know what I'm going to bring as far as food, so I can make the menus now while I have a little bit of extra time, instead of waiting till, the week of Christmas when I'm doing all of the things. Plan ahead with the gifts as well. Buy things, spread out when you're gonna buy things, especially when it comes to like grocery items. Those are something easy, especially the non-perishables that you can buy ahead of time. So take advantage of the awesome planning and buy those ahead of time. The next thing on my list is to ask, especially if you have children or loved ones, ask them to start making lists. And I encourage you to make a list as well. Now, I know as adults, there is this weird kind of guilt, like, oh, I don't wanna ask people to buy me something for Christmas, but there are people in your life that are probably going to want to get you a gift, whether that's your spouse or your parents or a close friend. And so Amazon is my favorite thing for this because you can create a wish list. And I'm not saying you need to put items on there that are crazy expensive. You can have intentional ideas for yourself and for others that are under, you know, $10 or $20, because I would much rather buy a friend or family member a $10 or $20 book that they actually want than try to find something, you know, that I don't even know if they're gonna like or not. You know, take the time, even if it's inexpensive. I know there's certain types of pens that I love, there's beauty blenders that I love that are, you know, under $5, but I would really enjoy and use those items. Then you're not accumulating clutter in your house. You know, it's not a waste of money for the person that's buying you the gift also. So encourage your kids to make those lists now. And I tell my kids that I need to have stocking stuffers, I need to have low to mid range gifts, and then a couple higher end gifts, because, you know, if for grandparents and aunts and uncles, I don't want them to put things on the list that are like $50 to $100. That it needs to be under $10 or $20 for those items. Get those lists now, and you can start utilizing those lists. So if you're not waiting for, you know, a paycheck to come in, if you're able to go ahead and shop ahead of time, start ordering that stuff now. Start getting it sent to the house, and save those boxes for two things. Number one, you can save them to wrap presents in, but the other thing is they're very helpful after the holidays to help you organize your Christmas decor. So if you have a bunch of little different boxes, this helps you to really crack down when you're putting away Christmas decorations. You can put all of the mini tree stuff in one box inside of a giant box. So use those free items that you're already gonna have around your house to help set you up for success next year. So get those lists ahead of time. Kids love making lists too, especially when it's for gifts. So usually people are good about that. The next thing on my list is order what you can, which I said. Get those things now. Grab those gift cards now. Order the unperishables now. Trust me, future you is going to thank you. And one thing that I always do for this is I have a local gal who is a friend of mine who makes the most incredible sugar cookies you've ever eaten in your whole life. And every year I bring those to Christmas. I order 5 dozen and I pick them up Christmas Eve and I take them to all of the Christmases. My family looks forward to them. Yes, they cost money, but I set that aside ahead of time. So it's one thing I can cross up the list. It's done. Also, I order a dozen, I call them naked sugar cookies. And so my little niece, she loves to decorate cookies for Santa. I order those ahead of time, naked, and then I buy the little frosting things. You can get those at the Dollar Tree. They're awesome. It's a great little tradition on Christmas Eve that we do. And it literally costs me, you know, I order the cookies and then I buy the $5 little coloring kit and maybe some $5 vanilla frosting, and we're good to go. We have this great tradition. It's not stressful. I want to stress to you guys, I think sometimes people get so hung up on perfection and doing everything, and everything's homemade and everything is perfect. And it's just not realistic, especially if you're working full time or you're going to a bunch of events around the holidays. Delegate that stuff. Be the person that brings the wine. Be the person that brings the pre-made sugar cookies with the frosting, because guess what? They don't even remember that. They're not even gonna remember that you didn't cook them. And if you want to say you cooked them, go ahead, girl. I ain't gonna tell on you. So do what you can, delegate what you can, okay? The next thing on my list is to decide on a budget. This is important. So before we even start shopping, before I get the kids' list, I try to do this before I get their list, because once I get their list, I can kind of talk myself into increasing the budget, which isn't good. So I decide ahead of time. I have a dollar amount per kid that I'm gonna spend. My kids are older now, they're in high school, so they know that, you know, if you want one really expensive gift, you're not gonna have 10 gifts under the tree. That's just how it is. My boys always end up wanting usually 1 or 2 big ticket items, where my daughter, she likes to get more bang for her buck, and so usually she'll have a lot more presents because we can spread her allotted money out. Another thing is, if you are dealing with clutter, or like for example, our children are very blessed. We have a split family, so they have a mom and her whole side of the family. They have my family, I'm their stepmom, and then they have my husband's family. So they have a lot of people that love them and care about them and buy them things. And so they're not hurting for maybe any items. For them, we look more for experience things that they're gonna go out and do, so that we're not accumulating a bunch of clutter or things that they don't need. And also this time of year, this beginning of November, is when I encourage my family, my kids, my husband to declutter. So right before it gets crazy, usually we do this in October, but we go through clothes items in their closet, we go through toys, and we donate that stuff now, because I tell them, you're gonna have all this stuff coming in for Christmas. You want to have a place for it. You don't want it to get lost in the closet. Plus, there are a lot of families out there who are shopping at Goodwill for Christmas presents. And so I tell my family that this is a great time to bless other people by donating your items so they're available for other people to purchase for their families as well. The next thing on my list is food related, and that is to make and freeze. So since you're the one planning the menu, this is a great time for you to look ahead and see, okay, I'm going to make a couple freezer meals, and these don't even have to be meals you're taking to Christmas. These can be meals that you're throwing in the crock pot, because it's a perfect crock crock pot season, but these are meals you can throw in the crock pot on those days where you're running to all the events. Or if you and your spouse have something, a dinner or something, you can have something ready for the kids. But you will be so grateful that you took the time to do this. That's why I love that cookbook, Cook Once, Eat All Week. That's great. I'm actually gonna use the recipes that we've tried and that we already love, and I'm going to bring those to our Christmases because we're not usually there for one day. So even though I know what I'm bringing for Christmas dinner, we usually have a day before or after where we're like all still there and there's a ton of us and we're like, what should we eat? So I'm gonna bring a couple of those meals ahead of time so they're already prepared and so I can contribute even though we're not at my house hosting. Trust me, whoever's house you're staying at is gonna love this. So communicate with them and say, hey, I'm gonna bring a couple items that we can have for lunch or dinner. It's gonna be great. Freeze them, you're ready to go. The next thing on my list is, oh, I already said it, it's to order those unperishables. Okay, and delegate. So I'm crushing this list. I'm crushing this list. Okay, so delegate, get help. You can get help in a multitude of ways. The first thing that I like to tell you to get help is you're gonna have more on your plate this holiday season. You're gonna need to cut out time for shopping. You're gonna need to cut out time for preparing food. So enlist your family members. If you have family, enlist them to help you with household items, enlist them to help with maybe if there's something that they can do to contribute, or your spouse, allow them to help you. Don't try to do it all yourself. Also, look to the professionals. So maybe this is the time or season of life where you need to maybe have someone come in and help do some cleaning for you before family comes. Maybe there's something that you want to get fixed because family's coming. Delegate what you can. Do not feel guilty about doing this. It's better to have it done and off your plate than it is to stress over the fact that you didn't do it. So do not feel guilty about delegating. Okay, and the next thing on my list is to schedule some fun things as well. Now, if you're not careful, the holidays can run away with you and you can look back and think, oh my gosh, I didn't even get to enjoy any of that because I was so busy running around like a maniac. And I think that's why so many of us are starting to look ahead to prepare because we want to be able to enjoy. I want to be able to sit and have wine at Christmas Eve and just enjoy myself. I don't want to be like a crazy person running around. So taking these steps now, an hour a day, 30 minutes a day, whatever it is, to kind of plan for the next couple weeks is going to allow me to really be present and enjoy those moments. And just like I said with the sugar cookie thing, it doesn't have to be a big production. You can have traditions with your family that are simple, inexpensive, and meaningful. Every single year, I do a hot chocolate bar. Most of the stuff I get from the Dollar Tree, I've accumulated over years. I have a cute little display of caramels, and I'm gonna show you guys in my Christmas decorating video. I'll show you guys this. My kids look forward to it every single year. I get little hot chocolate pods for the Keurig, and they can have hot chocolate during the week or whenever. They absolutely love it. They dress it all up. It's very inexpensive. It maybe costs, if I'm going nuts, $10 to $12 to get all the stuff, and it's just one of those cute little things that we do every year. And another thing that I like to do is I always like to go ahead and, since I love going to the Dollar Tree, is I will buy a couple of disposable cake dishes. Now I know I'm gonna use these for a variety of things. I'm gonna make stuff to take places when we have, holiday parties and things like that. I'm gonna send them with kids to school when they have their stuff. And also I'm gonna use them to freeze things that I'm gonna take out of town because I don't wanna take all my Tupperware. I don't wanna stress about, okay, I gotta remember to bring this home. So buy those now because it's just one of those little things that you're gonna need it later, and now you just have it and you're not buying it at the grocery store for $3 or $4 because they're just $1. They come with lids. Usually they come in a 2-pack. They're literally the 9x13. So grab a couple of those. You'll use them like crazy during the holidays. Another tip I have for you guys is to take the time now to do some of the daunting tasks. If there's a space in your house that's driving you crazy and it needs to be tidied or decluttered or whatever, and you've just been kind of waiting, go ahead and do that now. Tell yourself that now is the time to do that because once the holidays come, you're gonna be so thankful that that's not still hanging on your to-do list, especially when you know all these other items are gonna be coming up. And another tip I have for you is to schedule your appointments. If you wanna get your hair done before Christmas, or you wanna get your nails done, or your lashes, or whatever self-care item that you have, maybe it's something for your family like holiday pictures, go ahead and get those on the books now so that you can check that off the list, especially with beauty appointments like hair, nails, skin, all that good stuff. You guys, everyone and their mom wants to get these done before the holidays. So if you want to pick the time that you want, do it. Schedule it now because it's really hard for those service providers to get you in this quick, especially when it's that busy time of year. My final tip, in my opinion, is the most important, and that is to not neglect self-care during this season. I can't stress that enough. You are going to be doing things, you're going to be extra busy, you're going to probably be eating stuff you don't normally eat, and you're just going to be a little bit crazy during this time of year. So making sure that you stay in the routine of drinking your water, getting your workout in. Of course, I want you to enjoy this holiday season, and I want you to be present in the moment, but allowing yourself to maintain those routines that keep you sane during the week, during the normal time of year. Keep those going throughout the holiday season. I see easy. Those things kind of get tossed to the side and saved for January. But getting that 30 minutes of a workout in, or 15 minutes of a workout in, or meditation, or whatever you do to keep yourself centered, making time to do that is going to allow you to handle the stress. And it's also going to help you to stay healthy. There is a lot of stuff going around this time of year, colds and sicknesses. So put out the hand sanitizer, put it in the kids' cars if they're driving, donate it to the classroom, wash your hands like crazy, drink lots of water, vitamin D, all the good things, you know, get your exercise. It's usually not an issue of the cold that makes us sick. It's usually that we're eating so much junk that our immune system goes down. People are bringing treats to work. People are having Halloween candy, and then we have Thanksgiving. You know, get that stuff out of your house. Don't feel bad about throwing it away if you have to, but enjoy it and then let it go. Because honestly, you don't want to take all of your progress that you were making all year going towards your goals and blow it in 2 months that are supposed to be happy and enjoyable months for you anyway. Take the time for yourself. It'll help you be more productive and happy throughout this holiday season. I hope you guys found this video helpful. I hope it gets you excited to start planning for the holidays. This is my absolute favorite time of year, and I have so many videos lined up for you guys. I am just exploding with excitement. I've got a Christmas decorating video. I got some organizational stuff for you. It's gonna be great. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching this video. It means the world to me. Also, if there's something that you want to see in the video, or there's something that's going on in your routine or your daily life, maybe you're struggling with meal times, or maybe you're struggling with self-care, or maybe it's a beauty thing, whatever it is, guys, I am here for you. This channel, I want to be tailored to your needs, wants, and desires. Leave me a comment below of a suggestion of a type of video you want to see, and I will do my best to get it out there for you guys. I hope you have an awesome holiday season. Go get it. Have a great one. Talk to you soon. Bye.